Welcome to the lecture of Computer Integrated Manufacturing in Automobile Industry. I am Milan Trivedi, Assistant Professor at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. We are actually learning about the second chapter of SEAM, that is NC CNC machine tools. In this particular, we had already discussed about NC machine and its classification. Now let us elaborate that classification which we had discussed in the last class. Now first classification of the NC machine is according to the feedback. By the term feedback, we literally mean that whatever data we had given to the particular machine, that check of the data is we are getting or not. See, for example, if I had given input that tool must move 10 mm, then is it exactly moving 10 mm or not? That data, if we are getting, then it is actually called as a closed loop system. And if we are not getting that particular data, then it is called as a open loop system. Why we are giving this two particular name? Let us have a look. Say for example, this is a open loop condition in which we are having three different drives. We are having two different movement to the particular work table, and a spindle is also driven. So three different movements related data we had given, right? But we are not measuring this particular data with any of the device, right? Whatever data we had given to the controller, that data has been executed. So this kind of system is called as a open loop system. Whereas on the closed loop system, what exactly happening is, suppose these three drives we are operating with the help of program, and apart from that we had also attached some measuring device in this particular three drives, right? So that particular measuring device will receive the data of the movement and will give feedback back to the controller. So it is forming a closed loop, right? You are giving the data to the drives, and from the drives you are collecting certain data, and again it is given back to the controller. So here you are receiving the feedback, that's why it is called as a closed loop system. Now second classification is according to the type of tool motion, that how does that particular tool travels. Broadly we are having two categories in this. The first one is a finite and second one is a continuous. Let us first of all discuss about the finite positioning, right? Say for example, if you are doing a drilling operation in any of the object, then the type of machining you actually need to require is a point to point, right? Say for example, at particular location A you want to make a drill, and then after you want to make a drill at point number B. So this is actually a point to point operation. Second is a straight cut. In a straight cut, if we are traveling the tool only in a one axis in a single path, then it is called as a straight cut. So this is an example in which we actually need to have a straight cut, right? A straight horizontal direction tool would be traveling to create this kind of groove. We will have a look over this in detail during the lecture in which we practically take any kind of example, right? The second classification under this tool motion category is a continuous path, in which the tool actually moves continuously, not only in a single direction. If it is moving in a single direction, we are already discussed that it is called as straight cut. Now the machine in the case of continuous path can be classified into four different categories. Suppose it can travel in X and Y direction, right? This is a work table area on which a work is mounted, right, and above which the tool is moving. If the tool is allowed to be moved in particular two directions, X and Y, then it is called as a two-axis machine, right? If along with that two-axis movement, if particular XY plane also rotate, then it is called as a 2.5 axis, right? Many of the time even that plane can also be moved. If that facility is available, then it is called as a 2.5 axis. Third category under continuous path is the 3-axis machine, right? This is x-axis, y-axis, and vertical one is z-axis. If the tool is allowed to move in all the three particular direction, then the machine is called as a 3-axis machine, right? In x-axis also it can move, in y-axis also it can move, even z-axis it can move easily, right? So that kind of movement is called as a 3-axis machine. Last category is a multi-axis machine, right? A multi-axis machine is that where when the tool is not only moving in that three basic axis, but along with that three basic axis, it can also rotate in any of particular axis direction. Say for example, if it is moving in x-axis direction path, but along with that x-axis movement, it can rotate in that particular direction also. So that is actually called as a multi-axis machine, right? If it is allowed to move on a y-axis path, but along with that y-axis vertical movement, it can rotate along the y-axis also, then also it is called as a multi-axis machine. So this is how the particular tool movement based classification is there. The third classification is according to the programming method which you are actually using. Now this is also required to understand when we actually write the program, right? The practical application of this particular discussion would be there when we write the program physically. Okay, so understand this thing very carefully, right? Suppose we are having this kind of part drawing, right? The part drawing is being given. What we are actually doing is the leftmost corner is indicated by the position 0, right? From that we are actually giving two axes. This is y axis, this is sorry, this is y axis, this is x axis. We are just plotting that two axes. In the part drawing we are having the dimension also. Part drawing is actually the drawing of the final object, right? We need to manufacture this kind of object, that is our requirement. We are having the dimensions, we are having drawing with us. Now what we actually need to do is, as per the absolute method, that this is considered as a 0 position, right? We are having the dimension of center point of all the three holes. Now as per the absolute method, the x and y coordinate values would be in the reference of 0 position always. Say for example, the center position of first hole would be x value would be 10, y value would be 10. For the second hole, x value would be 25, y value will be 20. For the third hole, the value of x will be 40 and the value of y coordinate would be 34. This is simple, this already we had learned in the mathematics, but this method of actually giving the dimension in the case of CNC machine is identified as a absolute method of programming, right? Let us understand the incremental so that we will have more clarity. In the case of incremental method, again we are having the same object, but yes, just look towards the method of dimensioning over here, right? The first center position of particular first hole is x value 10, y value is 10. Okay, as per the absolute, if we take the second position of the hole, then it will be 25 and y value would be 20, right? But what we are actually writing in the case of incremental mode, x 15, y 10. Why is it so? Because in the case of incremental, we believe that how much increment is required. Say for example, initially we are processing hole number 1. So tool will be at position at this particular position. Now how much increment is required in order to do the next processing? This is being actually kept in a mind, and then we are actually putting the coordinates, right? So from this particular point, increment in x direction required is 15 and increment in y direction required is 10. So that's why the value of P2 over incremental method is 15, 10. Similarly for the third hole, if we take from the absolute mode of programming, then it will be 10 plus 15 plus 15. So it will be 40. Value of y coordinate would be 34, right? But we are writing 15 and 14. Why is it so? Because we believe that the tool is at point number 2. So the increment required in x-axis is 15 and in the y-axis it is 14. So this is how actually the values of x and y coordinate is tabulated. In most of our part programming method, we will consider absolute mode of part programming because that is bit easy and it doesn't create any kind of confusion, right? But we need to understand which are the two different ways. Now the last classification in the case of NC machine is according to the type of controller. As per the type of controller, we are having these two different methods of controlling the particular machine. First one is NC machine. Later on CNC machine came into picture. NC, that is normal numerical control machine, right? In that numerical control machine, we just giving the program tape to the particular machine tool. Whatever program is written, as per that the machine is actually performing certain tasks. Later on CNC came into picture, which is having a good computer screen interface on which you can see the program, as well as it is having its own memory in which you can store the program, right? So that's all about the classification of NC machine. Now let us discuss about the different advantages of the NC machine, right? When we talk about the NC machine advantage, it provides greater machine usage. Complex machining operations can be processed easily. It is having a high degree of accuracy because we are having less human interface, and it actually result into the less inspection requirement. The reduction of scrap and wastage to a greater extent. We are having a reduced lead time, that is the total manufacturing time has been reduced, which can increase the productivity. We are having better operation safety, efficiency, and the tool safety. The overall tooling cost would be lower, and the space requirement will also be reduced. These are the number of advantages associated with the NC machine. But along with that, we are having some disadvantage also associated with the NC machine. The first disadvantage is the high initial cost. The cost of the machine is somewhat higher. It requires the high maintenance. So obviously the maintenance cost would be higher. The operational cost would be higher because it is having a computer and hardware setup additionally in apart from our normal machine tools. So that actually add up to the cost part. Then in NC machine we are using tapes, and all the tapes is having a limited life. That's why limited life of tapes. And lastly, the time consuming in preparing the particular tape is very high. So that's all about the NC machine and our today's lecture. Thanks for watching.